We did one yesterday, worked out all right, and we decided that we'll jump back on today whilst we have an hour or so spare. So, welcome back to the new subscribers also. Seen a little influx over the last couple of weeks. We're hoping to keep that going. The road to A plus driver rating continues tonight with quick. Continues tonight with Road Atlanta, Raceway Atlanta. In the GR3 cars, Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta. There we go. In the correct order as well. So 1 or 2 minutes, I'm gonna get started up, get yourselves comfortable, and we'll get into a couple of races and see how we end up. We ended up in a third place from 15th yesterday, so happy days. We'll see if we can repeat the process. So we had subtle previous experience yesterday of this race. We're going to watch a replay first, just to get familiar with the corners and stuff again. I do this every time before a race, but it might help yourselves as well. So we'll play this replay, and I'll get back to you after. Mr. Holder, I just seen your message there. How are you? How are we on a fine Tuesday evening? Don't know if you could notice, but we are a little bit hungrier for some more of this track today. Also along the lines of might not be able to do one tomorrow. There will be one this weekend, as per usual. I am off next week also, so there'll be an extra little stream. There'll be an extra little stream next week, more so than usual. Monday was Monday, you know how Monday goes. Tuesday was Tuesday. Realistically, after Wednesday, your week goes pretty much fast. So, yeah, can't complain, pal. What about yourself? Work? No work? Early's this week, I think you said yesterday. We'll go with the 296 on here. Again, can't really fault the way the 296 was driving yesterday. Hello to whoever else just started watching also. Jump in. We started on the softs. We get the softs out of the way. See if we can push the remainder in the mediums. I think what I've learned is that you hit the softer compound earlier, unless you have like pretty much straights the whole way. Then you have to tweak your strategy only slightly. This friends rating here just can't be happening. I'm a second behind you. You're a second behind Jacko. Jacko's a second behind L Ramp, not even. And then GT Racing YouTube's a second ahead of him. So there's a second in between all five of us here. It's quite fun. It adds a little bit of competition, but sometimes you can get too excited on track. So we'll try and contain that. Medium first. What were the tyres that you set your time in? What did you start your race with? Like, was it the mediums or was it the softs? I'd love to know. Okay, so softs first, and then like what lap do you pick to take your mediums on? Because I mean, if anything, I'm one that likes to adopt strategy. Coming up with your own strategy is good. But there's some trendsetters here. So soft for qualifying, right? Okay, but then mediums at the start. I mean, again, yesterday, I'm pretty sure you were there. We had a 15th place to 3rd place yesterday, and I'm trying to wonder whether or not your medium selection prior to the soft selection during the race is I don't know, is better or worse than the strategy that we're implementing here. Would love to know. Try and get a little practice in just now and warm ourselves up a little bit, I think. Always the first one, isn't it? Always the first one. I'll forgive the spin out. I'll forgive the spin out. That's not bad. What was our time prior? Maybe even a couple of hundredths of seconds, but I realised up until my little slip up, maybe 4 corners in, we were about a second up anyway. I mean, it's not a lot taken off. It is an improvement. Um, One traction control. That's a bit shifty. We'll keep it on one. We'll keep the brake balance on two to the back. I'm debating taking the brake balance to the rear off, but I can't see how that would help more than bring us forward. We'll see. We'll try a couple more, and then we'll join. Yeah, there's only a couple more left. Then we'll need to join the race. Okay, so fair enough, Mr. Holder. I'm encroaching on your time here slowly, and it was thanks to the fact that I put my brake balance at the back. No way is it that close. Well, fair play to you. Like, um, change the brake balance to the back to three. No, 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 no. I didn't beat you, pal. However, I changed my brake balance to the back, which used to be on two, now it's on three. So that helps. I don't really want to put it any further back than that. I can kind of see why I've stuck with that as well. Hello, everybody else that just started watching. 15 minutes, 14 minutes. So we'll get entered into it before we do another think about entering it and completely forget about entering it. That's a usual thing, a common occurrence. Oh, yeah, I forgot. I was about to say, but the car is GT3. Entry deadline coming up. The 296 as per usual. We'll stay on the softs to start with. Um, have you won any races on this yet, Jamie? Like last night, did you win any races or? I would like to know. Anybody else watching that can chuck in some some pointers, anything to make the lap faster, anything to do with the tweaking of the brake balance or anything like that. It's all about trying new things. The time isn't too bad. To be quite fair, we could be happy with the time. It's the bits that we want to shave off of it that we're going to try and get a focus on. If you're not subscribed already, try and get yourself subscribed to make sure you don't miss any of the videos that are put up. Most of the time, it's a stream, but the streams also end up as a video, sort of at the end of the day. So you can skip through and pick which parts you might want to see or might be your favourite. Because to be honest, some of the longer stints are a bit boring, but we can't help that. We can't help that at all. The last time this track was around, it was the same type of car. I would like to see this in GR4. I'm curious as to how that would turn out time-wise, and also what car would be the meta, because this time round the 296 is the meta car. Most people are using the Ferrari 296. I'd never used it before yesterday, but I'm happy with it. It controls so well. It's so fast. Like I'm usually maybe the Lamborghini Hurricane, usually take the Hurricane around, but I sort of switched up, had a change of heart, and I thought I'm just going to do it this once. But it worked out. It worked out for sure. Our new time, Mr. Holder, no, it wasn't quite beating you. But you can see my frustration between that 119.740 and the 119.717. You can feel my frustration, of course. No more so than me, though. So the race better go as well as yesterday's, because, I mean, to say that we came straight on, done a race, we didn't do any laps, we didn't do anything else, we just kind of went straight into the race, straight into the main event. We done all right. Got ourselves around there, I think finished maybe 6th or 7th. You'll have to watch it back if you want to see that. It is so close, man. It is absolutely frightening how close that is. Corner there is an absolute killer. That's one of the ones I struggle with, this corner that's on the screen at the minute. There's one or two that I struggle with, and then there's one or two that I can get around pretty much all right. Being on a wheel and pedals, obviously, it does make it. It makes it more hard, but like, what can you say? Like, there's only a certain point you can go to on the controller before you have to start feeling for the car and where you are and how to take a corner. Some people take that corner with absolute ease. I have every bit of faith we maybe get it, every bit of faith we might spin out, so it'll be a circus, I think, for this first race. There's the circus ground right there, the big circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There, 5 on the friends list. The new times, oh, how happy I am to not be up at least as high as 20,000. How unhappy I am to find out there's still 15,000 people. It is worldwide, but there's still 15,000 people like remotely faster. 116, 116. Where did the 117 start? I'm curious. There. 117 started position 60. Man, but there's nothing in it. Like, there's 3 people with exactly the same time. Split second, split second, split second. Same time. And the cars as well. I mean, there's a variety of cars. 911 GT3R, 296 GT3. Beetle? The Beetle. How's that? Not got a Scooby how that got around there in 117 point. Well, 117 on the dot pretty much. 296 again. The Genesis. M6 GT3. Another M6 there. It's just a mishmash. All the cars are mixed up. Sammy Snake. Why do I know that name? Do you know what? He's up there with Moreno. Where's the other guy here? Where's the other guy? Paul Ura, L. Burton, there we go. A. Gura, De Bruyne. There's all these names from the Gran Turismo World Series popping up here in the top 100. Might try it the other way around. In what sense? The other way around, as in like your compounded tires and to which order you're gonna like use them, or are you gonna switch it around and potentially use the mediums right up until the last couple of laps? As to which, obviously, the soft tires might have given a bit more oomph in the corners. It's a weird one. I've never started on the mediums, so I don't actually know how that would go. It is all about trial and error, but with yesterday's results, I mean, I can only kind of stick with what I know. But if you do it and it works out miles better, then obviously we're onto something. So let me know how that goes. Obviously, you have me on the computer as well, so you can message me via that and let me know your time on there as well. Okay, right, I think a quick toilet break, then we're ready to go. I'll leave it there for you. So hello to anybody that just started watching. We have 1 or 2 minutes to talk. And I wanted to talk about a series that I used to do. Well, not used to do, it was at the start of the channel. I was editing more videos than I was doing some live streams. And I mean, out of those videos came some of my best viewed videos, I would say. But it was very specific, niche things. like the Honda EMS qualifier. That was one of them. Or oh my, even the Nürburgring. There was a time trial for Nürburgring. Now I didn't cover this in the form of like making a video, editing, maybe even as a live stream. I didn't cover it, but again, like in these times, you start to find different ways of doing things. Even if it is just a time trial, there's nobody racing against you. There's no one, putting pressure on you. You've still got the pressure of the track, and if you are trying to push quite hard, the track will do its job to throw you off if you can't drive it properly. I done a transition into the wheel not that long after I actually got the game. I've had the wheel since I started streaming and started the YouTube channel, but since then it's been ups and downs and other types of ups and downs, lefts and rights, of course. But nonetheless, in the long run, we've ended up better off at the game, better understanding of not just how to work one car, but how to maneuver yourself around multiple different cars. Some I still can't control, but some are better than others. That's just kind of the way of it. Car flying past there. I wasn't too sure about how that volume actually sits compared to how my voice comes through, so I hope it's alright. Data logger. Do we even want to dare to look at the data logger and find out? Because sometimes you try and go with that and it doesn't work. It really is just dependent on your preference. 34 seconds to go. We'll be dragged in a second. I'm gonna do the assist settings quickly down to 1. You manually have to input your brake balance when you're in, so we'll do it that way. I don't drive with any assists. I replace the car if they're leaving the track, but that's just because some spin outs is not worth the time it takes to get back on track. Braking indicator, like the tiny little red flashing sign that says brake, I have that on all the time. But that's it. I have the brake indicator, and the rest is luck. So we will get the formalities out the way as per usual. Of course, hello, good evening. Nice to meet you, and have a good race. Oh, thanks, Alan. Serpac, here we go. Dorito DLC. Come on. Oh, someone's got the police decal on there. Oh, look, it's Alan. He has a police decal on the M6. That's pretty cool. Okay, pressure's on. For anybody wondering what that bit of contact was, he was trying to smash me onto the grass, so I just made sure his braking was a bit too hard. So we can maybe call that successful. I'm not too sure where we started though. Can't for the life of me remember where we started, but I mean, considering the couple of spin outs, it's not bad. Not too bad at all. Guy got a second penalty there for something. Is that a second or is that a minute? That's a second. What was that for? Who knows? Dorito DLC moved up. Stuck in sixth. We'll see where we turned out in a couple of seconds. Not too bad at all. Now 25 past. The next race is a half past. That's absolutely fine with me. So we can get one more in. And this better be a good one because it'll be the last race. The through the week streams for me are, I don't know, they're kind of just for people that are looking for that entertainment through the week, but they're not long streams. Like, I can't stress that enough. But if there's a weekend stream, I've seen them go on for 6, 7 hours. So, just to broaden your mind a little bit. 296. 4 minutes to go. Let's see what we can do with this. Maybe 1 or 2 laps. Some luck. We're about to kick off now. Not bad start though. Okay, here we go. So it's not a repeat of the last one, let's be honest. Damn dirty drivers. So that was the last race of the night. Pretty eventful, but I would say it was pretty majestic towards the end there. Both races got crashed out, both races came back. Happy days. That's me until tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. The weekend, but there might be one in between. You'll get an update if you're subscribed. But until then, adios.